hopefully when we bring this boy into my yard, right? Because we need breed type. Now, let me just say this for the record, because with time, people forget. I pivoted last year this time. In fact, I pivoted last year, April, right? That's when I bought, right? Let me refresh y'all's memories. And I'm only saying this because I already know how the narrative is going to be, how they're going to try to manipulate the narrative. Y'all remember this was Sunshine looked like last April. This is what she looked like. That's when I bought her, right? Little Sunshine, like I call her, right? Bought her, right? And throughout the year, she even champed out, right? Shout out to my girl Devin over here, Miss Devin Ferraro, nothing but love, best handler out there, right? Little Sunshine growing up, but I didn't only buy Sunshine. I bought this girl right here, girl, right? I bought Sunshine's brother, right? I also bought a sister, but she didn't make the cut, right? It is what it is. But my whole point is, I pivoted last year before Brazilian Bulls was even a thing here in America, hands down, right? I didn't even know Aria at the time, okay? So I'm just throwing this out there because I don't want to hear, oh, you pivoted when everybody pivoted. No, bro. I follow the beat of my own drum. I don't follow anybody else's beat. I realized, right, that my bullies, they look good. I like my bullies. They're functional. They're correct. They needed more bone. They needed more breed type. And that's what I set out. And as a breeder, you have to be able to self-identify that. I don't need, in all due respect, I don't need Aria from Samba Kennels to raise the bar in order for me to pivot, because I realize now I don't have what it takes. I have to be able to realize that for myself as a breeder. That's why I've always said, in a yard, the most important component is not the dog. It's what the breeder has between his ears, right? We have evolved. Those of you that have watched my East-West video from 2 years ago, right, that decided not to watch the East-West video I dropped this past week, you're shooting yourself in the foot, because Raul from 2 years ago has evolved, even if it's 5 or 10%. That 5 or 10% is in the video we dropped this week, right? You go back to videos from 5 years ago, I was talking about feed your dogs Victor. Ask me about Victor now. Yeah, I don't even want to talk about it, right? So that's my whole point. We all evolve. You got some comments over here. Dupree says, if anybody's out of the loop right now, you damn sure better make sure you get with the program 2025. Yeah, Jabre Bully says, Jabre Bully's Joaquin. Gracias, Raul. I share and I help out my community down in Mexico with all the information that you share. Thanks a lot. Gracias, Joaquín. A toda mi gente en Aguascalientes, Mexico. Nothing but love. Mucho cariño para ustedes. All right, man. Bob Finn says, smash that like button, man. That's it. Adam Fields, even in horses, you call dapple a color. There you go, bro. Dapple. Well, I'm sorry. Dapple is not a color, my friend. Merle is a pattern. Sorry, but it's a pattern, bro. Jared Malero says, can you give an explanation on how to breed different classes dogs to bring breed type to excel, like breeding Hector to excel to try and bring in the breed type? Okay, here we go. Excellent question. So let me explain to you why Hector is such a fit for me in my yard. Now, I don't follow dogs based on their name. Now, if they have a name, if Hector had a name, I still would, would pursue him simply because I feel he checks all of my boxes, but not because of a popularity thing. See, this dog you're looking at right now, he's a standard, but he's 18 and a half inches. I'm shooting for my excels to be no more than 20 and a half inches at withers. That's just me. That's what I'm shooting for. Now, let me say this, because breeding is not an exact science. If I make a dog that's over 20 and a half inches at withers, and he is drop dead gorgeous, amazing dog, top to bottom, do not get me wrong. He will be part of my program. Okay. But as far as what I'm shooting for, I'm shooting 20 and a half, 21 inches max. at Withers. That's what I'm shooting for. So this dude right here, he's a standard, but his owner embarked him. And guess what? This is where learning how to breed with genetics plays a big role. He is double N on the IGF-1, which is the growth hormone. Okay, so this dude right here, even though he's a standard, right? For those of you that don't know what the IGF is, I'm going to go ahead and bring it up here rather quickly. Let me see. Yep, I have an embark. Okay, so let me rather quickly bring it up here, and then I'm going to show you guys, and then I'm also going to show you something else, which is going to blow your mind, right? It's going to blow your mind. Give me a second here. Yeah. So, all right. So I'm bringing him up right now, and let me show him to you guys in 3, 2, 1, and there we go. Okay. So check out these traits, right? Look, this is why you do embark testing, guys. This is why you do it. This is why you do it, right? So look, if you go down on this little doggy I'm about to show you, first of all, one of the reasons he's here is because I told you guys I want to shorten the muzzle. So he's got double A, right? Which means, right, he's got the short muzzle gene. He got one of these A's from mom and the other one from dad, which is perfect because I need that from him. But even better, this little dog right here is NI. He's NI in the IGF-1, right? So being NI in the IGF-1, I'm trying to find a picture here of him, a recent picture, so I can show him to you so you can see what I'm talking about, right? So you can see what I'm talking about. Because I recently, here you go. Here you go. I recently took a picture of him, and I want you guys to see what it is that I saw in him, right? And I could say I saw it in him because even though I really didn't see it in him phenotypically, I saw it in him genetically, right? Which gives me a leg up on all these phenotypical breeders. So this guy I'm talking to you about, let me bring up his picture. Sorry, guys, this is real time. This is live. This is not me reading a book or going off of a script or any of that stuff. This is live, right? So you got to bear with me sometimes because I keep it real with y'all. Keep it 100 all the time. So this dog I'm showing you that is NI in the IGF-1 and is bringing the short muzzle gene and is bringing a muscular frame is none other than this dude right here, my boy Blueberry, right? My boy Blueberry. So if you want to know why it is that I value this pup so much is because he is NI, and let me bring it up on the screen even further. You see it says intermediate. Look, let's take a look. It doesn't. Okay, so I allele is associated with a smaller body size, but that N, you have to take my word for it, guys. That N means it's associated with large body size. So say, for example, I was to grab, say, this boy Blueberry that's got NI and the IGF-1, and I want to bring him into a bigger female, right? I wouldn't necessarily just go ahead and bring him into my girl, Ali. Why is that? Ali is a lot taller than he is. But you know who is a girl that's a great candidate for him? My girl, right? So the first thing I want to check on this girl right here is, does she have the short muzzle gene? And on the IGF-1, what does she have? So look, this is what I'm talking about, transparency. I am showing you my dogs live. Like, it doesn't get any more live than this. So we're going to go to, look, I got 73 dogs that I've embarked. Look, I ain't making it up, man. Look at the number right here, 73 dogs. And the next litter I have, I'm going to embark every single puppy as well. That's how we roll. But anyways, we're going to find our girl. Where you at, girl? Here she is. So we're going to go to girl. And in order to see if they can both produce something bigger, what I'm going to do is I'm going to, well, first, my bad. First, I want to make sure she has the double muzzle gene. And she does. She has 2 A's. That matches up with Blueberry, right? Yep, it sure does. Yeah. So then we're going to go to body size. Check it out. Check it out, man. Check it out. She is NI just like he is, right? She is NI just like he is. So she carries a small gene. She carries a big gene. So you're probably wondering, so Raul, what happens if, you breed them? How many big dogs are you going to have? And how many small dogs are you going to have? Right? And so I'm going to answer that question for you right here live. So let me take this down and let me show you how we're going to do a simple little pundit square. So let me just put up here Blueberry. This is him up here. And this is girl. Okay. So I showed you Blueberry, right? Blueberry's NI and girl is NI, right? So we're going to start bringing the letters down. So I'll go slow. We're going to bring down Blueberry's N with girl's N. And that gives us NN. I'm going to continue on that same column. And I'm going to get Blueberry's N and girl's I. Look, see it there? We now have NI. Now I'm going to go over to the next column, or actually this way, right? And I'm going to bring down Blueberry's I, but it's going to meet girl's N. And so now we have this right here, NI, and I'm going to bring down Blueberry's I with girl's I, right? So these are the percentages going into that breeding. You're probably thinking, what do you mean percentages? I'm going to break it down even better for you. So we have 4 possibilities, of which 2 possibilities are that puppies are going to be born NI. Last time I checked, 2 is 50% of 4. So going into it, I know 50% of my litter, 50% of my litter is going to be NI. But what's going to happen with that one NN? Simple. Last time I checked, 1 is 25% of 4. So going into it, I have a 24% chance of getting a double N puppy. But wait, there's more. What happens with this double I, right? Which is going to be the smaller dog, right? Again, there's only one of it. So there's a 25% that I'm going to get double I. So going into that breeding, I am aware I have, out of however many puppies I get, 25%, I have a 25% shot that they're going to be double N, and they're likely going to be bigger than mom, meaning they have a good shot at either being very large standards or smaller XLs. This is why you genetic test. That's simple. That's simple, right? Now, once I have this pup that's got that double N and he or she is a large standard or a smaller XL, now I'm cooking, because now I could breed that son of his, right? I could breed that son of his to this big old girl, right? That's walking around with a double N on the IGF-1, right? And she's already 21 inches on at withers herself, right? So this is how you merge it, guys. This is how I'm merging a pocket to a standard who's eventually going to bring the breed type to my XLs, right? This is how it is. Class in session, says Queens. Hey, it comes down to what y'all ask and how you ask it. Straight up. Dupree says makes them carriers at that point then, right? But 50% guaranteed NI. Correct. 50% will be carriers. There may be puppies there that are bigger than mom that are going to be NI that are still useful for breeding, into XLs, right? The ideal would be a double N, right? Then at that point, once, say I have a litter of 10 pups, based on this prognosis, I will have anywhere between 2 or 3 puppies that are going to be double N. I will grade them phenotypically, but I will know what's under the hood genetically. In addition, I'm going to know they have the short muzzle gene, which they will, because dad has it and mom has it, so the entire litter will have it. Once I grade the pups that are double N, then I'm going to grade the pups that are NI. Now, it may very well happen that the best puppy in the litter is NI. Is that the end of the world? No, not at all. In fact, I could still, if I really wanted to, I could breed that NI to my double N XL female, right? Perfect world would be the double N male. But if I have an NI male that's looking like dad, walking around, looking amazing like this, then I have no issues. I have no issues taking that into Ali. In fact, just to prove my point, I've already said it. To nobody's surprise, we will be breeding Hector, this boy right here, right? And he's double N on the IGF-1, okay? He will be bred into my girl Ali and into my girl and into my girl Champion Sunshine when the time is right, okay? She still has another 6. She still has what? Another 7 months to go before we're ready. All right. But that's how we rolling with it, guys. Jared Malero says, this will make a great video. I appreciate the info. I learned a ton from you. If you think this is a good video, if you think this is good information, do me a favor, give us a share. The algorithm does not like to push podcasts that don't get shares, likes, and comments. And I don't mean the ones we're getting during the live. I'm talking about post live. Give us some love, man. What up, QBN Nation? I got you. Yeah, it makes sense. You got it, man. Javier, QBN Nation, sorry, using a no worry, man. You got it. But either way, guys, listen, I want to apologize. I made it a little late. Believe it or not, my back's starting to give me a little bit of spasms right about now. I think I got heated there for a minute when we had Aria, in a good way, when we had Aria in here, doing things right, and me giving you these explanations. But right about now, we're going to go ahead and pull the plug on this. Either way, make sure to watch that East-Westy video. Give us a like, give us a share, give us a comment, and the upcoming videos that we're going to be dropping. It's been Raul from the Q. I'll be catching you on the next one.
Here we go. Kill the whistle. Oh, yeah. We are going for a whole hour. Straight dog talk and the song. Jump on.